Yeah, well, as you said, I am actually a really controversial figure because the way that I work with the medicine. But sometimes after people takes the first dose of the medicine, they don't want to go again because they are terrified. Sometimes I need to yell, I need to be physical, I need to be vocal to people to say, hey man, I don't care, stand up and do it again. Because it's for their own sake and also for my own peace of mind. It's not something that I like, it's not something that I want, but someone needs to do it. And I'm doing it with my heart and with my love because I love people, I love planet, and I love myself. And no one did anything to help me. I did it by myself. So I've been physical. I've been kicking people in the butt. I've been slapping people in the face. Why? Because they sign a release form before the ceremony and they trust me as a therapist. But if someone comes and approach me in front of the pipe, I need to be sometimes strict with the people in order to help them. And then I start to use a electric muscle stimulator that looks like a stun gun. So when I buzz this thing, everyone is paying attention. And I don't need really
I'm sure.
to buzz anyone because they are terrified for being electrocuted. So I'm using some kind of mind to help people to overcome their fears. After people see that I'm kicking someone or that I'm using this kind of thing, they think that I'm torturing people and that I'm a maniac. I am the worst person in the internet, in the forums. I've killed 7 or 8 people. I've done horrible things. I've been accused in the internet, because all this is just in the internet, to girls, to steal money from people. This is the wild, wild west. And I am completely open to be questioned, to have discussions, to give interviews, because I've been doing my work openly all these years. So that's all that I want to say.
Okay. And you look like you're on the edge of your seat there. Is there something, you look like you're on the edge of your seat there.
Well, that's because I'm listening hard.
And I know that it's necessary to have a prior consent of people before doing anything. I know that people needs to be informed about anything that should or might happen inside of or during the sessions. And you can go to my website and you can see that there is the disclaimer for people that I can use water, I can use rapé, or I can use my electric toy. Because after all the gossip and all the trolling, that thing still be in my suitcase. Why? Because I am not gonna accept publicly that I did something wrong just because someone is thinking that I'm a maniac, when the truth is that I'm doing anything and everything in order to help people. Maybe not in the most beautiful, pretty way, but where are we?
Right. I think you're, I mean, you have a lot of experience giving this medicine, and you've learned a great many things, and I think you know, you're not doing this to hurt people. You've learned through time that sometimes this is necessary, but you can see the issue with the public perception, you know, and how easy it will be to distort this. And that's tricky. And I'm not criticizing you. I mean, you have to be aware of this. And I'm not sure what you do. I'm not sure, except that you know, you respond to these criticisms with truth, and you just say, sometimes I have to do this. You can read on my website why, and you know, it's just with someone who's doing the kind of things you are, there are a lot of people who are looking for an excuse to make it look bad, you know, and distort
it. It looks bad.
Yeah,
but
I
the
don't
thing
know
is
that there's any solution other than just be true and be honest and open about what you're doing. And this is not a common thing. You don't normally have to do that, right? Sometimes people got to get slapped upside the head, you know. I don't say it's a bad thing, but I do think you've got a public perception problem, and I'm not sure how to overcome that other than just by educating people.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's a question from Sasha. It was a question about psychedelic assisted therapies, and I don't know the quote myself, but it was something from Dr. McKenna, something to do with patient abuse sometimes being necessary in the context of psychedelic therapy. And Sasha was just looking for a comment on that quote. I don't know if you know the quote that's being referred to, Dennis.
Actually, I don't. I don't think I have ever advocated that there was a place in psychedelic therapy for abuse of patients. You know, if sometimes have said that ayahuasca can be a stern teacher, you know, and it often presents in a feminine form, whether or not, but it's kind of like your wise grandmother, you know, who has nothing but compassion and your best interests at heart. But if you need to be slapped upside the head, it will do that. I'm talking about the medicine, not the therapist. Sometimes the medicine can be very hard on you. I am not sure that I said if that there was a place for okay, some people, yeah, I mean that's what I said. I said sometimes people got to get slapped upside the head. I don't say it's a bad thing. I'm talking about the medicine giving us the slap upside the head.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a little bit of a debate going on in the chat here, and it sounds like it's a misunderstanding about the context. You're talking about the medicine doing the slapping, not the therapist.
Medicine can give you a slap on the head. The therapist could, yeah.
I've been physical. I've been kicking people in the butt. I've been slapping people in the face. You're going to go and say, no, don't do it. That's what I need to do.
Sometimes people got to get slapped upside the head, you know. And I think I've seen she showed the post, so that's what it was in reference to. Yeah, that's what it was in reference to. Therapists, you know, by and large, under most circumstances, they don't really have to, you know, they shouldn't abuse their patients. Obviously, they don't even need to touch their patients, you know. And I mean, some therapists may disagree.